Hello everyone, I'm your digital host, Tatyana White. Welcome back to another episode of the 48 Recap, the one-stop shop to catch up on some of the top news stories of the week, including toxic worms invading the Tennessee Valley, the latest on a case of a federal employee who took home classified documents, a murder-suicide in Decatur, and a story of Muscle Shoals firefighters saving a couple on a beach in Florida. I hope you all are having a wonderful weekend. Let's get into this weekend's recap. One of the top news stories this week was sightings of toxic and invasive hammerhead worms across North Alabama. Recent rain showers have washed those worms out of their underground homes. These are bad for your garden since earthworms help keep the soil healthy. Hammerhead worms also feed on snails and slugs. If you see a hammerhead worm, you can use salt or vinegar to kill it. Carrie Deans, a professor at the University of Alabama, Huntsville, recommends that you don't cut the worms since they can regenerate. Hammerhead worms also produce a neurotoxin that is also found in pufferfish. Hammerhead worms are the only terrestrial invertebrates that actually produce this toxin. Dean said, although the worms wouldn't pose much of a threat to you, it's still a good idea not to touch them with your bare hands.
It's not as dangerous as probably it sounds. It's found in the mucus that kind of surrounds these worms, and it can irritate your skin if you were to like pick one of these worms up. But as long as you wash your hands, it shouldn't be a problem. Now, I think a lot of people are more concerned with maybe pets eating the worms because that is a little bit more dangerous. A lot of these invasives come in and can outcompete earthworms, but in this case, these hammerhead worms are actually feeding on them. So it can be a concern that it could, sort of impact the earthworm population.
If your pet eats a hammerhead worm, they could get sick. There haven't been any reports of a person getting sick or dying after coming into contact with a hammerhead worm yet. And out of Madison County, we have the latest on the case against a U.S. Department of Defense employee charged with removing top secret materials. You're taking a look at brand new video after a federal judge found during a preliminary hearing that Eva Cizik knowingly took home classified documents from the federal facility in Huntsville where she worked. An FBI agent testified that over a 6-month period, the Missile Defense Agency engineer would knowingly take classified documents home from work. The Counterintelligence Division notified the FBI that documents were missing, which led to her being monitored. The agent testified that during an interview with Cizik, she said she knowingly took home the documents that were classified. She told agents she was using them to work on a presentation for her work. Her attorney released a statement saying, quote, "There's two sides to every story. The public will have their idea of what happened. She'll get the chance to share her side," unquote. Stay with WAFF 48 for any new developments in this case. And tragedy struck Decatur on Tuesday. Police confirmed that 2 people are dead in an apparent murder-suicide. Matthew Ryan Martinez and Cindy Michelle Masney were found dead Monday night in a home on Linwood Circle. 48 Savannah Sapp was in Decatur and shares more on this story.
We just reported on Martinez last week after Decatur police say he was arrested for shooting his own mother in the buttocks. Now, just days later, Martinez has been identified in a murder-suicide on Linwood Circle in Decatur. Decatur police say officers and firefighters responded to a home on Linwood for a wellness check just before 9 Monday night. Firefighters could see Martinez lying face down through a window and went inside to check on him. Inside, investigators found Martinez and Masney dead from gunshot wounds. Morgan County Coroner Jeff Chun tells me the two were believed to be in a dating relationship. Martinez was released on bond last Monday and given an ankle monitor, according to court records. On Friday, that monitor's battery died and community corrections officials tried to contact Martinez to no avail. The judge over his case then ordered a warrant to be issued on Friday. And Morgan County Coroner Jeff Chun tells me that Martinez was still wearing that ankle monitor when he was found. Reporting in Decatur, Savannah Sapp, 48 News, on your side.
In a touching story this week, 3 Muscle Shoals firefighters saved a couple from ripped currents at Panama City Beach on Sunday. 48's Aria Pond shares this incredible story on how firefighters rarely ignore a call for help even when on vacation.
The reality of firefighters is saving lives every day. That's why vacations are needed to get away. In fact, the ocean was meant to pull these three away from their worries, not try to pull them under.
We really weren't thinking much about besides we had to make sure these people didn't go under, you know.
Muscle Shoals Fire Chief John Hyde says for years now he's been going on vacation with his two coworkers, Kyle Taylor and Ryan Andrews. This time, though, they happened to save a couple, Kristen and Michael Brannon.
Had they not intervened, I don't think I would be on the phone with you right now.
Kristen and Michael Brannon go to the beach where they live in Panama City every Sunday, except this Sunday their worst nightmare happened. They got caught in rip currents.
I flipped over to my back to float, to rest, and honestly pray, because I was already so tired. I started yelling for help, and I heard my three angels.
Hyde immediately jumped into action along with Tyler and Andrews. Hyde grabbed another swimmer's boogie board and swam to grab both Kristen and Michael. The three brought them back to shore safely before they had the chance to go under. Hyde says anyone would have done the same.
Whole surrounding area of first responders and firefighters, police department, everybody, we're such a small community around here. Everyone doesn't even think, they just act. They do their job, they do what they're supposed to, because the majority of us are called to this, you know, because it's our calling, not just because it's a paycheck.
Kristen Brannon says she wants to fully thank her three angels for risking their lives, and she wants people to be aware of rip currents, even if you know what you're doing. Reporting in Muscle Shoals, Aria Pons, 48 on your side.
Yes, what incredible bravery from our first responders, and I'm so glad they were able to help this couple out. And coming up after the break, a look into a Huntsville woman starting a sneaker drive with the goal of getting 100 pairs of sneakers for homeless men in the community, giving a look into some great events happening in the Huntsville and surrounding areas. All that and more when we come back. Hello everyone and welcome back to the 48 Recap. I had the pleasure of sitting down with the founder of Sneakers for Homeless Men Drive in Huntsville and the managing director of Empowerment Through Change, Rosemary Jordan. She shared her heartfelt effort to collect 100 pairs of sneakers for homeless men in need. What makes this drive even more powerful is the story behind it. A mother honoring the memory of both her son and granddaughter who she lost in 2 separate murder cases. She joined me on 48 Now to share more on how this drive is more than just a donation effort, but it's also a mission of healing, remembrance, and service.
A good pair of shoes just does a lot for your spirit. You know, our feet carry the weight of our bodies. And so when our feet hurt, I imagine that not much else functions properly. And so I'm hoping that these sneakers would just touch the hearts of the men that are wearing them. And I'm hoping that these sneakers will also let them know that they're loved by many. And I know that these sneakers will benefit their feet and keep them in good health.
Yes, this was such a wonderful initiative that Miss Rosemary is doing for homeless men in our community, and I just love how this drive is also honoring the life and legacy of her son and granddaughter, who I know would be so proud. She shared with me that they both love sneakers and loved connecting with their community, so I know this would be such a great initiative that they would be very much behind. And the sneaker drive runs through July 19th with hopes of putting 100 pairs of shoes on feet that need them the most. Whether you donate a pair of sneakers, donate donate financially or help spread the word, your support can make a difference. To learn more on where and how to donate or ways to learn more about this drive and Empowerment Through Change's mission, the full 48 Now interview can be viewed at WAFF.com under the Digital Shows tab. And a story to look out for coming up in our evening newscast, a fire damaged a home in New Market earlier today. The house fire happened on Beth Road in New Market. Moores Mill Volunteer Fire Rescue and the New Market Fire Department responded to this fire. It is unknown at this time how the fire started or if anyone was inside the home at the time of the fire. We will keep you updated right here on WAFF as we learn more information. Tune into our evening newscast to hear more details on this story and many others. And if you're looking for a fun event to check out in the area this weekend, you don't want to miss out on the annual Juneteenth Festival at Big Spring Park. This event was originally supposed to take place on Saturday, June 14th, but it was rescheduled to today due to inclement weather. But it looks like today's weather should hopefully hold up well for this event. This free family-friendly event will have a lot to offer, including lively music, the Huntsville Community Drumline, performances, fireworks, and hands-on STEAM activities. The STEAM Zone is a collaborative space featuring hands-on educational activities centered on science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. Partners like Arts Huntsville and the North Alabama NSBE professionals will lead engaging programming designed to spark curiosity and creativity in participants of all ages. The festival starts this afternoon at 5 p.m. and ends at 9. Also happening today is the Ditto Landing's Independence Day celebration, which is annually held on the last Saturday in June. There will be live music, food trucks, and fireworks. It is free to attend and gates open at 5 p.m. and the festivities kick off at 6 at 293 Ditto Landing Road. And for all pickle lovers, happening tomorrow at the Orion Amphitheater is the Rocket City Pickle Fest. This is a day full of live music, pickle-inspired eats and drinks, games, local vendors, live music, and so much more. Tickets to the Rocket City Pickle Fest include entry to enjoy live music, participate in activities and contests, and the opportunity to shop all things pickled from tasty snacks to pickle merch. Tickets can be purchased online at theorionhuntsville.com or they can be bought in person. The festivities kick off at 11 a.m. tomorrow and will continue until 5 p.m. And there are just some really great events happening in the city this weekend and the surrounding areas, such as the Weird Kids for Life Inclusive Prom, embracing diversity at 7 p.m. at the Shenanigans Comedy Theater, and the Community Dance Showcase, which will be celebrating the vibrant diversity of our local dance community tonight at 6 p.m. at the Academy for Academics and Arts. And the weekend-long event for the 2025 June Fest is happening today and tomorrow. For more information on the event lineup and to purchase tickets for June Fest, visit tickets.bestofhuntsville.com. Go out and enjoy all the fun events Huntsville and the surrounding areas have to offer this weekend, and check out huntsville.org's event tab and wearehuntsville.com's event calendar to check out more events happening in the area. That's all I have today for the 48 recap. Thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget to tune into 48's Weather Extra segments. Our meteorologists go live every Monday through Friday at 10:30 a.m. and 9:30 p.m. and every Saturday and Sunday at 8:15 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. This is just another way to give you all extra insights on the latest weather forecast. Make sure to download our 48 apps and follow us on our Facebook and YouTube channel so you don't miss any updates on the weather. It has definitely been a very hot week this week, so continue to stay updated on the weather and weather safety tips from our meteorologists and continue to stay hydrated and cool. And if you would like to stay connected with me throughout the week, please be sure to follow my Facebook page at Tatyana White, WAFF 48. Take care and be safe this weekend, everyone. I will see you all back here next Saturday. I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend.